Good morning. Oh, shoot. Yeah, it's good morning somewhere. How about that? Good afternoon. Sorry for the delay. We've had a lot of excitement this past year. But welcome to the August 27th Assembly Appropriations suspense hearing on Senate bills. Assembly Member Nazarian will be taking the place for Assembly Member Tom Daly. Madam Secretary, call the roll.
Gomez?
Present.
Bigelow?
Present.
Bloom? Bonta? Calderon? Chang? Here. Nazarian?
Present.
Eggman? Here. Gallagher? Here. Garcia? Present. Holden? Here. Jones? Here. Quirk? Here. Rendon? Here. Wagner? Here. Weber? Here. Wood? Here.
We have a quorum. First and foremost, let me thank all the Assembly members for serving on the suspense, first on appropriations and then being with us on the suspense hearing. In the last, several months, we've dealt with almost 800 bills, and we've had a great cooperation from our membership as well as both parties. So I want to give Assembly Member and Vice Chair Bigelow just a second to say a few words.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I do want to thank our staff on both sides of the issues. Everyone has done a tremendous job doing the detailed research and the assistance that we needed to come to the conclusions we've come today. I also want to take time to thank each of the members for their professionalism, their attention to the detail, and their thoughtfulness in their comments. So with that, I know we have a long day. Many members want to get on the road, so we'll try to get through this as expeditiously as possible. And again, to our chairman, who has definitely given us a tremendous amount of effort and in making sure that this all goes smoothly. I want to thank him because he put a lot of time and personal attention into this himself.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Bigelow. So we have 152 bills on suspense, including one AB and one AC. First bill, Assembly Bill 585 Melendez, Income Tax Credit Outdoor Water Projects, Holden Committee. SB 324 Pavley, Disabled Person Savings Account. Do pass, motion by Quirk, second by Calderon on A roll call. Without objection, we will substitute the motion and second for all do pass or do pass with amendments on the rest of the suspense file. Okay, hold on. SB 670 Jackson Employer Child Tax Credit allows the following tax credit for taxable years beginning on or after January 2016 and before January 1, 2021 under personal income and corporate tax laws. Holden Committee. Yeah. Yeah. SB 42 Lou. Now we're on the education packet. SB 42 Lou, establish Office of Higher Education Performance and Accountability.
Wait. They don't have their taxing.
Oh, sorry about that. Ready? SB 42, Lou, establish Office of Higher Education Performance and Accountability. Until January 1, 2021, establishes the Office of Higher Education Performance and Accountability within the Governor's Office as the statewide post-secondary education planning and coordinating agency and advisor to the legislature and the governor. Do pass with amendments, adding Assembly and Senate Policy Committee chairs to the advisory board. 2, specifying that advisory board members are not paid but may have expenses covered. 3, requiring the advisory board to A, develop an annual report on the condition of higher education in California. B, issue an annual performance review of the executive director of the office. Number 4, requiring the office to make recommendations regarding cross-segmental and interagency initiatives. Republicans not voting. SB 111, Fuller, matching grant funds military installations, requires the Department of Finance to explore options on how best to assist school districts in meeting the matching share requirement of a federal Department of Defense construction grant to construct, renovate, repair, or expand elementary and secondary public schools located in military installations. Do pass. On an A roll call. SB 172, Lou, high school exit examination suspension. Do pass with amendments to authorize local education agencies to grant diplomas to students who meet all graduation requirements other than passing the exit exam. Sunset this authority on July 31st, 2018. 2, modify criteria for choosing the student member on the working group. B roll call. SB 210, Galgiani, special education, deaf and hard of hearing children, language development milestones. Do pass with amendments to align implementation dates, clarify educator tool requirements, and other technical amendments. A roll call. SB 252, Leno, high school proficiency exam, fee exemption homeless students. Prohibits the California Department of Education from charging homeless youth a fee to take the California High School Proficiency Exam, and prohibits any contractor or testing center from charging homeless youth a fee to take any high school equivalency test. Do pass with amendments to sunset use of the special deposit account for purposes of the GED fee exemption on January 1, 2020. A roll call. SB 311, Bell, Preschool Alum Rock Union Elementary School District Pilot Project. Authorizes the Alum Rock Union Elementary School District and a single preschool provider to develop a pilot program to provide preschool services within a transitional kindergarten classroom on a 5-year pilot basis. Holding Committee. SB 320, Lara, Pupil Fee Complaint of Noncompliance Regulations. Prohibits a public school from establishing a local policy or procedure that authorizes the public schools to resolve a complaint regarding assessment of pupil fees by providing a remedy to the complainant without also providing a remedy to all affected pupils, parents, and guardians. Do pass. A roll call. SB 334, Leyva, School Sites Clean Drinking Water Testing. Requires the State Department of Public Health to test drinking water sources at a sample of school sites for lead in the drinking water. Requires all school sites to provide access to free, fresh drinking water during meal times in the food service areas. Do pass with amendments to 1, delete the sample testing requirement, 2, delete the requirement for schools to develop a mitigation plan, and 3, strike the appropriation from the Childhood Lead Poisoning Prevention Fund. A roll call. SB 359, Mitchell, Mathematics Placement Policies. Requires school boards and governing bodies of local education agencies serving pupil entering grade 9 that do not adopt a fair, objective, and transparent mathematics placement policy as of January 1, 2016 to develop and adopt a math placement policy. Do pass with amendments to require policies to be developed before the beginning of the 2016-2017 school year. Out on an A roll call. SB 369, Block, Student Data System, students of military families. Requires the superintendent of public instruction on or before July 1, 2016 to add a reporting process within the California Pupil Achievement Data System requiring local educational agencies to report the enrollment of pupils of military families. Do pass. A roll call. SB 376, Laura, enacts due diligence requirements on UC service contracts, requires bidders on UC contracts for specified types of personal services to certify that their employees' total compensation does not undercut the compensation of UC employees during comparable work. Do pass. B roll call. SB 574, PAN, University of California Investment Information, requires the University of California to obtain the following as currently required by the Government Code Section 6254.26B. I hope everyone got that. From each private equity fund, venture fund, hedge fund, or absolute return fund in which UC provides or has provided funds for investment. Holding committee. SB 645, Hancock, after-school program, furlough days. Authorizes an after-school education and safety program to suspend operation for up to 5 days in a fiscal year beginning January 1, 2016. Specifies a grant shall not be adjusted as a result of the program suspending its operation. Holding committee. SB 686, PAN, allow collective bargaining for UC supervisor peace officers, provides full collective bargaining rights pursuant to Higher Education Employee Relations Act to sworn peace officers of the University of California or the Hastings College of Law. Do pass. B roll call. SB 695, De Leon, school curriculum, health education, sexual harassment, and violence instruction, affirmative consent. Do pass with technical amendment to clarify that IQC will consider including comprehensive information rather than a distinct category. A. SB 786, Allen, Adult Education Block Grant Funding, Joint Powers Authority. Requires the California Community College Chancellor's Office and the Superintendent of Public Instruction to certify, upon request from a Joint Powers Authority, the amount of state funds expended by the JPA for adult career education in the 2012 and 2013 fiscal years. Holding committee. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, is that a new one? Okay. Okay. We're still. Now we're starting with the Health and Human Services packet. Let's begin. SB 4, Laura, healthcare coverage for undocumented immigrants. Contains supervisions relating to expanding healthcare coverage to undocumented immigrants. Specifically, this bill requires the state to apply for a waiver of federal law that bars undocumented immigrants from purchasing coverage through a state health exchange in order to allow such persons to purchase coverage to the California exchange using their own financial resources. Do pass as amended to add a co-author. B roll call. SB 12, Bell, eligibility for extended foster care for non-minors in delinquency system. Expands eligibility for extended foster care to specify non-minors who have crossed over from the dependency system to the delinquency system. Holding committee. SB 19, Wolk, physician orders of life-sustaining treatment pilot registry. Do pass as amended to narrow registry to a pilot conducted by the Emergency Medical Services Authority. A roll call. SB 23, Mitchell. CalWorks, repeal the maximum family grant. Repeals the maximum family grant or family cap rule under the California Work Opportunity and Responsibility to Kids program. Also prohibits requiring the applicant or recipient of CalWorks aid to do any of the following as a condition of eligibility. Do pass. Republicans not voting. SB 33, Hernandez. Medical estate recovery. Limits estate recovery and Medi-Cal collection from a state of a deceased Medi-Cal beneficiary to the minimum that is federally required. Do pass with technical and clarifying amendments and to further specify a definition. A roll call. SB 43, Hernandez, essential health benefits. Updates California law related to the definition of essential health benefits to make it consistent with recent federal regulations under the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act. Do pass. A roll call. SB 115, Fuller, appropriations for Valley Research. Appropriates $1 million from the general fund to the California Department of Public Health for 2015 and 2016 fiscal year for the purposes of Valley vaccine research in accordance with current law describing the vaccine research program. Holding committee. SB 118, Lieu, school-based health and education grant program. Modifies an existing underfunded grant program administered by the California Department of Public Health to provide grants to schools and adds a new grant category. Holding committee. SB 137, Hernandez. Provider directories for health care plans and insurers. Specify detailed procedures health plans and insurers must follow to maintain an accurate provider directories and requires both the Department of Managed Health Care and the Department of Insurance to develop uniform provider directories for plans and insurers respectively that are regulated by each department. Do pass as amended to 1. Change frequency of required provider inquiries. 2. Further specify directory standards. 3. Modify treatment of contracted groups and subcontracting plans. 4. Modified shared responsibility provisions. 5. Other technical and clarifying and substantive amendments. No. Republicans not voting. SB 147, Hernandez, alternative payment methodology for community clinics. Do pass to further specify contents of the evaluation and with other technical and clarifying amendments. A roll call. SB 149, Stone, and Right to Try sets up a legal structure whereby individuals with serious or immediately life-threatening conditions can gain access to specific drugs. Holding committee. SB 199, Hall, IHSS, reading services for blind and visually impaired recipients. Do pass with technical amendments. A roll call. SB 238, Mitchell, foster care, psychotropic medication. Do pass as amended to make technical and clarifying changes to the training requirements, court process, and data reports required by the bill and add references to a data sharing requirement that will be required in order for county placing agencies to receive the data report. A roll call. SB 253, Monning, foster care, psychotropic medications. Do pass with authors' amendments to narrow the eligibility for university-based consultation services to those counties with fewer than 10 practicing child and adolescent psychiatrists. Require the university-based consultation services to be set up by DHCS in collaboration with the Judicial Council. Strike the requirement that judges must rely on clear and convincing evidence when authorizing the use of psychotropic medication. Narrows the circumstances requiring a second opinion prior to authorization of psychotropic medications. Add foster youth in out-of-home placements to the protections in the bill.
Not voting.
Republicans not voting. SB 260, Monning, Medi-Cal Plan Licensure for County Organized Health Systems. Do pass. B, roll call. SB 276, Wolk, Medi-Cal Funding for Local Educational Agencies. Do pass. A, roll call. SB 282, Hernandez, Prescription Drug Prior Authorization Forms. Do pass. A, roll call. SB 296, Canella, Medi-Cal Specialty Mental Health Services Documentation Requirements. Do pass as amended to strike requirement to develop a single set of standards, limit documentation of requirements to criteria explicit in written guidance, require the department to consider further simplification and report on progress. A, roll call. SB 315, Monning, Healthcare Access Demonstration Project Grants. Do pass with amendments reducing appropriations to $3 million, making the program at board discretion, making enactment contingent on AB 648 low. A, roll call. SB 319, Bell, Foster Care Psychotropic Medication. Do pass with author amendments to remove specific monitoring requirements, add privacy protections, and adds a co-author. A, roll call. SB 326, Bell, Courts, Penalties, Emergency Service Funding. Do pass with amendments to include findings and declarations and indicate legislative intent for the penalty assessment to expire in 2018. Require a plan for an alternative funding source to ensure adequate payments to air medical transport providers. A, roll call. SB 388, Mitchell, Healthcare Coverage Summary of Benefits and Coverage in Multiple Languages. Do pass. A, roll call. SB 435, PAN, Medi-Cal Home Health Care Delivery Model. Do pass. B, roll call. SB 466, Hill, Board of Registered Nursing Sunset Extension. Do pass. A, roll call. What's that?
That's good.
Okay. Okay. SB 484, Bell, Foster Care and Psychotropic Medication Group Homes. Do pass with clarifying and technical amendments. Yeah.
We skipped. Oh, you just skipped those.
Yeah.
Way to go. It's an A.
A, roll call.
Jump on me there.
484.
Yeah.
SB 490, Bell, Regional Centers Vendor Audits, Holden Committee.
A. Oh, hold. Thank you. I'm on the next one already.
SB 503, Hernandez, Cal Cobra Group Health Insurance Disclosures. Do pass.
A. Told you.
A, roll call. SB 525, Lara, Private or Public Residential. 524, Lara, Private and Public Residential Care Facilities for Youth. Do pass. A, roll call. SB 546, Leno, Healthcare Coverage Rate Review. Do pass with amendments to eliminate large group rate review, modify aggregate information plans as are required to provide, as well as notice requirements.
E, roll call.
B, roll call. SB 610, PAN, Medi-Cal Timelines for Community Clinic Payments. Do pass.
A, roll call.
A, roll call. SB 613, Allen. Do pass.
A, roll call.
A, roll call. SB 614, Leno, Peer Certification for Medi-Cal. Do pass with amendments authorizing a fee, providing more specificity with respect to resources the department should rely on to develop the program.
Not voting.
Republicans not voting. SB 643, McGuire, medical marijuana. Do pass as amended to remove current contents and insert intent language, make enactment contingent on AB 266 Bonta. Republicans not voting. SB 794 McGuire, Federal Preventing Sex Trafficking and Strengthening Families Act Compliance Bill, do pass with clarifying and technical amendments funded in the budget. A, roll call. SB 804 Hernandez, Health Omnibus Bill, do pass as amended to add a provision updating disclosures for group health insurance. A, roll call. All right. SB 11 Bell, Peace Officer Training Mental Health, do pass as amended. Remove the continuing education requirement on law enforcement personnel. Sorry, public safety packet. Does everybody have that?
Have that on SB 11.
Yeah.
A roll call.
A, roll call. SB 29 Bell, Peace Officer Training Mental Health, do pass as amended. Amended clarifying amendments. A, roll call. SB 124 Leno, Juveniles Solitary Confinement, Holding Committee. SB 261 Hancock, Youth Offender Parole Hearings, do pass. B, roll call. SB 333 Galgiani, Controlled Substances, do pass as amendment, change the penalty to a county jail eligible felony rather than requiring state prison time. Not voting. SB 343 Hancock. SB 343 as amended, Hancock.
A.
Hancock requires the Department of California Corrections.
Sorry, requires the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation in complying with its goals to reduce illiteracy to give strong consideration to the use of libraries and librarians in its prison programs. Do pass.